future, it's nothing but a thought. And it doesn't exist. It's a thought, it doesn't exist. So when you're constantly thinking about the future, you're thinking about something that doesn't exist. So when you're spending your light energy and it's going into this hole, this black hole of void, and you keep thinking, so you've spent all your light energy that's went into it, but you're still thinking about it. So then the dark energy is like, oh, well, we'll lend you some of our energy then. And then you start thinking more and more and more and more and more and more. So again, it leads you into debt. Energy debt, when I'm saying that. So you don't live in the past and you don't live in the future, because those will collect for you only dark matter. So that's in terms of your thought process. Now I want to go through what is the physical and emotional costs of dark energy. Pick it up. Okay, so we'll go with the physical first, and then we'll go with emotional. Now, both of these energies are usually drawn because you are either thinking about the past or you're thinking about the future. It may be hard to stick with me for all of it, but I'm going to try my best to explain it in the best way I can right now. So physical energy, if you physically, if you're doing any negative action. So a negative action would be, let's say you got emotionally imbalanced, you got upset about something and you physically punched the wall. That is negative force being used to punch that wall. Because not only that, because when you are punching that wall, you are often thinking negatively as well. So if you were to exhibit that, like let's say you were punching the air, or you were punching a punching bag at the gym, because you are your thought process is like, yeah, I feel great, I want to go, and everything like that, and you feel like Rocky, and you're just like, wow, this is excellent, and you're having a positive emotion, then that is a positive force of energy that you're using. It's going to take a lot of energy out of you, don't get me wrong. You're tired after you've done boxing or some sort of physical activity or whatever. But so if you were doing that, you'd still be drawing off light energy. But however, if you were upset and you threw your fist, that is light energy does not comply with that. It's like a no. You will not get it. It's like the universe, as soon as you have married that negative thought with this action, because you're swirling and boosh, right? Because you are marrying that thought and that emotion with that action, that immediately turns off the light energy and you immediately draw from the dark matter. And that is, so you've got to be in control of yourself, because that negative action not only will, if you've went into debt, it will take from your synergy cell, but it also gives you negative antimatter or antimatter. And so for every action, there is a reaction. For any matter that is being used, there is antimatter. Light energy is light matter. Dark energy is dark matter. Antimatter is the result of whatever one of those. So if you are constantly drawing in from light energy, you are producing light antimatter, meaning you will have positive things or joyous, lovely things come to you because you were drawing from this. However, if you're constantly drawing from the dark matter, you will produce dark antimatter, meaning that if you've punched the wall for something, only negative things will come back to you for that punch to the wall. So that may be, maybe you punched too hard and you accidentally punched a beam that held up the house or something. So now because you made that punch, you've slipped this beam and now water is going to flood through your house whenever it rains next. That is the resulting action. Or maybe you punch the wall and it costs you $500 to fix it, but the whole thing that you even blew up on the first place wasn't worth $500. So again, you're in debt. So you produce negative antimatter. So physically, negative actions will result in you drawing from antimatter. Now, emotional, again, it's the same thing. You're marrying your thoughts with negativity, which equals a negative emotion. Which will again result in negative antimatter or dark energy. You are drawing from dark matter, dark energy in order to have this thought. You're not drawing from dark energy to have this thought. Your thinking is causing a negative emotion, and that negative emotion is then drawing the antimatter from coming. So, for example, if you... I'll look at it in horrible ways and just not so horrible ways where you might not know. So if you are going... Okay, let's say you're walking through people and you are thinking very judgmentally, which is an emotion. Judgment is an emotion. You feel judgment. You can feel when you are being judged, and you know when you are judging somebody. So judgment is an emotion, just the same way fear and hate and anxiety and worry and so forth are as well. So when you are walking through and you are looking at maybe a couple, two people that look really out of odds, out of sorts. Maybe you are walking by this gorgeous man or woman, and they're with their partners may not be as gorgeous as them, and the first thing you go is, hey other kiddo. And then the first thing you do is, oh, I can't believe they're together. Like, why is he with a girl like that, or why is she with a guy like him? And then normally then we run with it and go, oh, he must have a lot of money if she's with him, or she is, or what is the other opposite? Or she must be giving him everything for him to be with her, those kinds of things, right? And we judge. So because we were thinking about it, and because we had the emotion of judgment in our heart at the time, or in our bodies, in our minds, we have that emotion has produced dark antimatter. And dark energy. We've used dark energy to fuel this emotion because, again, light energy will not fuel that emotion. Just the same way how turning off the light won't save the shadow, if you get what I mean. Or there cannot be darkness where there is light. So dark matter cannot be drawn where light matter is drawn. And subsequently, you cannot draw light matter and have dark matter be drawn from it as well. It just won't work. They don't mix. Okay, there's never been a mixture of light energy and dark energy. You are either drawing from one or the other. You can switch between each one really quickly, but you can never draw them together. So that's what we're looking at for the negative as well. So now that we understand where we get our energy, where it's allocated to us and what we spend it on, it's safe to say that we can start making better decisions. Now also, if you haven't watched yet, in my physical body dues video, I did show you what you should do in order to increase your daily energy supply. So I'm going to recap on those really quickly. If you want further explanation, then please do watch my video. Again, it's the first video in lesson 2, which is the physical body, or sorry, the second video in lesson 2, which is the physical body dues. So I'll let you have a look at that one. But let's look at things that we collect, the amounts. How much is it worth? I'm going to put light and dark here. So when you are drawing in light energy, things that you can do to do that. So grounding. We have grounding, and you know what? I'm going to actually put the cost down here first. So we have grounding, we have breathing, prana breathing. Okay, yeah, breathing. We have sun gazing. We have what else do we have? We have positive love, gratitude, or we'll say emotions, happy emotions. What else do we got here? And positive actions. Okay, so grounding. Oh, we'll also put in there, so and these are common things you would spend your things on. So we'll put in there sex in there as well, because many people are having it, that's for sure. So we'll see how much this all costs you. So grounding, you know what, we'll also put in negative. I'm going to put this in there just so we all know. So things that, we're actually going to put this down here, is things that are neither positive nor negative, but will still take from you. Okay, so firstly we have grounding. Again, grounding is simply taking your energy from the ground, or you're replenishing your energy stores, your synergy cell, and your daily energy supply by taking it from the ground. So that's grounding, walking around barefoot, or putting your feet in some sand for about 30 minutes or so. That will get you 50% of your daily energy back. Or if we're putting this into our monetary example, it will give you $50. Or did I do this in a monetary example? No, I don't think I did. So you're going to get 50% back of your daily energy. Prana breathing will get you approximately 20% back of your daily energy. Sun gazing will give you 50% of your daily energy back. Happy emotions and positive actions, you can earn up to 50% of your daily energy back if you're constantly within happy, positive, love, actions and emotions. So fulfilling a purpose, it's a collective of everything. So the best way to do it is to literally just let everything go and live in your now moment. Sorry, that wasn't a very good example. But anyway, that will earn you 50% of your daily energy supply. Now, this is all assuming that you are, not these ones. All of these are assuming you are doing them for a minimum of 30 minutes every day. Now, if you did grounding and sun gazing, if you do these, you can gain back 90, well, I want to say 100% back of your energy, but you really can't. The most amount of energy, of light energy you can gain back in one day is 90%. You can reclaim it back. You can spend a lot, but you can reclaim back 90% of your daily energy supply. So, for example, if we're using the example in terms of the monetary sense, if your synergy cell holds $10,000 and you get $100 every day as your daily allocation, $60 of that goes on just your bodily functioning, and then you have $40 left. Now, if you had $40 left and you decided to do some grounding as well, you'd get extra $50 back. So then you would have a complete $90, meaning you only spent $10 for the entire day, which is fabulous. However, let's say you had $40, but you spent $100. So you're now in debt by $60. Or sorry, not by $60. You spent $100 over. So you spent $140 or $200. Like literally, you spent $200 all in that day. $60 went on your bodily functions, and then you spend another $140. Now, if you were to do some grounding and sun gazing and some pranayama breathing, you would have earned 120% back. So you've spent 100% of your daily allowance. So you've earned your $100 back and an extra 20. So meaning you're only actually in debt, or sorry, you're not even in any debt. You've only actually spent, gosh, I shouldn't do math. That's what 20 is, I think. So you've only spent $20 out of your whole day, although you've, or that's what's left in your wallet. And if any money you have left in your wallet from your daily allowance goes right back into your synergy cell. I don't have the picture anymore. So you're not in debt, you're actually putting that money back into yourself at that point. Because you've got yourself out of debt, because you know what, you're like, shoot, I did a lot of stuff today. Maybe for me, I did a lot of teaching and I'm physically exhausted, where I can't speak anymore, I can't move, I'm just so tired. So I spend a lot of energy. But hey, if I go outside and I do some sun gazing and I do a little bit of grounding, shoot, I'll wake up tomorrow and I will be right as rain, because it means that not only did I spend all that energy, I even got $20 back, you know, to put in myself. So I have a little bit more to be allocated to me on the next day. So again, grounding gets you 50%. Pranayama breathing gets you 20%, and sun gazing 50%, assuming that you are doing it for 30 minutes. Now, and happy and emotional and positive actions and thoughts and everything gets you also about a 50% too. So the more you can really live by this all day, the more you're going to get. Because again, if you don't have these, you have the negative of them, the other side of them, and you're drawing energy. But anyway, and again, as you increase in level, you will have to do the grounding and the sun gazing for a little longer than 30 minutes to recover the amount of energy that you have, because you have a lot more, right? So you may have to do grounding for an hour instead, or maybe you're just like, screw it, I'm going to just do sun gazing, because that gives you a lot of energy all the time. So now what